This. This is a remarkable place. A place steeped in history, where trails have been blazed, discoveries have been made, and lives have been changed forever. This is a place that holds questions and answers, problems and solutions. It's a place to tap into your creativity, curiosity, and ambition. This is a place to pursue what makes you, you. Here you'll be challenged and cheered, and you'll join a tradition of changemakers. This is a place you'll miss when you leave. Look around and picture yourself here, at this unique time, in this remarkable place. You'll be amazed at what you find. Welcome to UNC Greensboro. Find your way here.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. Welcome to another live stream brought to you by the admissions office at UNC Greensboro. My name is Trey. I am an admissions counselor here, and I am joined by a very smart feller called Austin. Austin, tell us who you are and what you do here.
Hey, Spartan families, whoever's out watching out there. My name is Austin McKim. I work in new student transitions and first year experience. So excited to share some ways that we help students make a successful transition here to UNCG.
Wonderful. Welcome, Austin, and welcome all of our future Spartan parents and family members. We are here to answer any of your questions. So if you are watching on our website, so on the admission site, you can text us your questions, and that number is at the bottom of the screen. That number is 336-892-8051, 336-892-8051. So send us your questions. If you are watching on YouTube or on Facebook, you can put those questions in the chat and we are happy to answer those for you. So let's go ahead and start talking about how we get students here to UNCG. I'll give you a brief overview of the admissions process so that way we can give you an idea of that. And then I'm going to hand the reins over to Austin and tell you and allow him to tell you how the transitions team helps you, the student, and also you, the family member, join us in the fall. So the admissions process is very simple. All you have to do is fill out our application. Our application is entirely online. It is on our website. So let's actually take a look at that website right now. We're going to go over to the admission site, and here you can see the tagline, find your way here, find your people here. And a very important note that SAT and ACT scores are not required for fall 2022 admission. So how do you get here? Well, if you were to come up here to the top and click on apply and then go down to either first year students, so freshmen, or transfers, you can pick your category and then go into how to apply there. Again, it's a real simple process. All you have to do is fill out the application. We are on Common App. We do have our homegrown application portal called Spartan Link, and we are also on the CFNC platform. So send us in your applications however it works for you. Now I see that we do have a couple of questions, and I will get to those here in just one second, but I do want to point out that there is a $65 application fee for your application. UNCG does accept fee waivers, so if you think you might qualify for a fee waiver, talk to your high school counselor. They are the ones who have that knowledge, and they are the ones that would be able to give you that information. And like I said earlier, you do not have to turn in your test scores. If you want to turn in your test scores, you certainly can. That will always help you out. It's not going to count against you if you do not turn in your test scores. And of course, you do need to turn in your official high school transcripts. Keyword there is official. We need to make sure that they are coming to us directly from your school. And of course, if you have taken any advanced placement or international baccalaureate classes or community college classes, make sure that you send us those transcripts as well. Now there's something down here under the other optional application materials, and that is the essay. I want to read your essay, so send that in. The essay is the best way for me to get to know you. So please send me your essay. Odds are, if you're from Florida, Georgia, or South Carolina, I'm going to be the counselor who reads your essay. So please send it in. Now, Austin, I'm going to turn things over to you so that way we can hear a little bit about how students transition into UNCG and what that transition is like, and also how we support our family members in that process. So the process itself is called SOAR. Tell me a little bit about what SOAR is.
Yeah, so students, if you get admitted, you applied, get admitted, decide to come here, after you confirm your intent to enroll, you'll sign up for a program called SOAR, which is our new student orientation program. During that time, you get a chance to meet other new students. You'll get to meet current students who are our student orientation leaders, hear from advisors, learn about all the different campus resources, get a feel for campus. We're hoping to, knock on wood, to be in person for orientation this summer, so we're really excited to bring that back. So it's a really great time to get to know the campus, get to know students, and get all the information over a 2-day program. After that, you'll hear some messaging over email, social media to get you ready for the fall. But when you step back to campus, we have all kinds of things happening for you. So you'll attend Navigate, which happens on the first day of the semester. Again, a chance to meet students in your college and school, hear from your dean, learn about practical, tangible tips to help you succeed in the classroom so you can hit the ground running. During that time, we also have Rock and Welcome Weeks. It's about 2 weeks of programming all across campus. You'll have fall kickoff to learn about student organizations. You'll have comedy shows, service days, anything and everything that you want to do on campus to get connected. I think it's offered during those 2 weeks. So there's tons of events. And then throughout the entire first year, we have a program called Your First Year that's heavy on social media. We have a texting platform, all these different events and programs that are there for you to help you throughout the entire first year. So my favorite program that we do for Spartan Spears, for Wi-Fi, is Spartan Spears. So in the first 2 days of classes, we have students, faculty, and staff wearing these nice, bright lime green t-shirts stationed all across campus. And students, you can just come up, ask a question if you're not sure where the School of Education building is or the Bryant's School Business building is. Just ask a Spear and they'll direct you where to go, completely anonymous, just there to help you. So as you can see, students and families, we have a nice coordinated approach from all the way from the summertime all the way through the entire first year. For our families, I want to mention a program specifically for you all called Families of Future Spartans. Trey, if you go to our website and go to contact us and scroll to the bottom, there should be a family texting line that I want to mention really quick. So family members, again, the program's called Families of Future Spartans. We have a texting number that'll show up on the screen there. So if you've got questions, you can text us. If your student's been admitted, you'll start getting a series of emails from us in December, January, about different information, to-do items, enrollment information, things about orientation, housing, dining, all those important to-dos, and just some fun facts about UNCG as well. So again, you'll get an email series there. And then we also have a Facebook page called Families of Future Spartans. You can like us. We put a lot of updates, admissions updates, fun things about UNCG happening, just to share the word out on social media too. So again, for families, texting line, email series, and Facebook. Again, if your student gets admitted, you'll get access to these emails too. So we look forward to helping you through the transition too. Anyway, one last thing I'll mention, we're hoping to offer some type of in-person parent-family orientation program alongside the student this summer too. So parents, we're hoping you can come and families come to orientation with your student and get to experience that.
Absolutely. And we can see here on the screen the Families of Future Spartans webpage on the newstudents.uncg.edu website. So if you have any questions for Families of Future Spartans, go check out that website. It is very, very important, and it gives you very helpful information about what to expect for things like orientation, what to expect for things like whenever you are a family member supporting your student on their way here. Now, our webpage does seem to be a little slow to load, so I'm just going to go back to our faces. But we do have a question from Katie. Katie is a family member of a future Spartan, and they are wondering, as a parent of a high school senior, how can I best support my student? Now, Katie, I want to know, is your student, have they already applied to UNCG, or are they going to be applying here soon? So I can answer from the admissions perspective, and then I will turn things over to Austin to see yours perspective. But from an admissions point of view, the best way that you can support your student, either if they have already graduated, or applied to UNCG or not, is to be there for them. Make sure that they are feeling supported in their application, and make sure that they are feeling supported in their campus visits. Coming to see campus is one of the most important ways that you can figure out if this is the right school for you. I was listening to a former student here who said that they never once stepped foot on campus until they came to Destination UNCG. So that's our open house event, and we are having open house coming up at the end of this month on October 23rd and on November the 6th. But they had never once heard of UNCG, never once stepped foot on our campus until they came to open house. And immediately they knew that this was the school for them. So they are the best way that you can support your student in their campus or college search is to be present, be there, be supportive. Just make sure that they know that they have a friend here in the admissions office and also at home. And I just got word that the student has not yet applied. So another thing that you can encourage with your student, I will say, I'm not going to say push, I'm not going to say push off a cliff, but encourage your student to go ahead and fill out the application. Filling out that application early is only going to be a good thing for you. That allows us to make a decision on your student's application sooner, so you hear back sooner, and hint, hint, you're going to have more time to get financial aid in order. So make sure you apply early. Now, Austin, I'm going to turn it over to you. For a parent of a high school senior who has not yet applied, how would you recommend that parent support their student?
Yes, that's a really, really good question. I think that the important thing we always like to say is a balance, right? You want to help your student, start getting used to doing things on their own, navigate the different processes. But also you being there as their cheerleader, their coach to really help push them along, help answer questions, help advocate as needed. I think that's a really good balance. Staying connected, staying involved, but also kind of letting them drive those things. And then the second biggest thing, when it sounds like a very basic concept, but students, if you apply, get admitted, start checking that UNCG email daily. We know it's a lot of information, it's a lot of emails, but that's how you get information about signing up for housing, sign up for orientation. I'll say certain dates will fill up more quickly. So if you want your date earlier, you apply, admit, confirm intent to enroll, sign up for orientation, as you can lock in that seat so you can plan your other summer trips, right? Meal plans, payment deadlines, the list kind of goes on and on. So be sure you're checking that UNCG email, and parents and families, be sure to encourage your student to be checking it as well.
Absolutely. One of the more interesting methods that I have seen from a family member that came on tour a while ago, they had a manila folder for each school that the student was interested in. So if manila folders and spreadsheets are your thing, then that is the way to go. Now we do have another question here from another family member. Being test optional, other than the essay for the application, what other things are you looking for in that application? Well, some of the things that we are looking for, I'm going to let you in on a couple trade secrets here, so keep these quiet. But the things that we are looking for a steady to upward trend in your students' grades. So we want to make sure that your students' grades are not falling. And let's be real, we've just been through and are currently going through a global pandemic. Whose grades haven't fallen during that time? We want to make sure that you are still being able to rebound from that, right? So being test optional, the things that we're looking for in your application are steady trends, upward trends, or any kind of rebound from any hardships or anything that you have faced. We also want to make sure that our students are staying active outside of school. So any kind of extracurriculars, any kind of jobs that a student is taking part in, that is something that we do look at. So it's not going to make or break an application. If a student has not had a job outside of school, that's okay. It's not going to hurt them. But doing any kind of extracurricular activity is definitely going to help you out. So I always like to say, test scores being optional, you can send them in if you want to. If you don't send them in, it's not going to hurt you. And if you do send them in and they're bad scores, then we're honestly just going to act like they're not even there. So we do have another question here. Any tips with the Fafsa? Now, Austin, I'm going to turn this one over to you just because I have to type a response to this question. But tell us if you have any tips for filling out the Fafsa.
Get it done as quickly as possible is going to be tip number one. And I'm sure Trey is probably echoing that and getting it done early as possible. Take your time, sit down with your students, sit down with your family to do it. It does take some time. It's not just a form you can whip up in about 5 minutes. Take your time, do the prep work, get all the information that you can in advance, and kind of sit down with your student and sit down with your other family members who are involved in the process and do it together. I think it's good. for the student and for the family to understand what's going into the form. So then eventually, maybe the student can fill it out by themselves moving forward and whatnot too. So again, do it early, prep in advance before you sit down and do it, and really encourage you to do it as a family.
Absolutely. We do have an entire financial aid office here on campus. So if you have any questions at all, go talk to our financial aid office, because financial aid is a wonderful resource. And I will bring us over here to Spartan Central. Spartan Central is our one-stop shop for everything that you might need to know about financial aid, about paying your bill, about being admitted or enrolled as a student. Degree planning, that is also an option. So we have the resources up here on Spartan Central for you to reach out to your advisor, for you to find your class schedule or to make your class schedule and find the classes that you want to take. Now let's take a look over here at some of the basics of financial aid, because that is a big step that a lot of people have problems with and a lot of people have questions about. So step one is, like Austin said, file your Fafsa and file it soon. The Fafsa opened on October the 1st, and our priority filing window closes on January the 15th. So make sure that you are filing your Fafsa as soon as you can. And then you need to make sure that you are, like Austin said, monitoring your UNCG accounts. Monitor your UNC Genie account. UNC Genie is your portal for checking your financial aid status. It is your portal for making sure that your degree is on track so that way you can graduate within 4 years. So parents and family members, make sure that you have access to your student's UNC Genie account, and encourage your student every day to check their UNCG email. Usually financial aid awards go out around springtime, so somewhere around March you can expect to see a letter in the mail and an email in your UNCG inbox to complete, if you need to, any additional requirements or to view your financial aid award. So you can see all of the steps here on the Spartan Central website. So go ahead, step number one, file the Fafsa. Let's see if there's anything else that we can take a look at, any other questions that we can answer. Yes, so we do have a question here. My daughter applied through the Common App. She completed the Common App essay, but not the UNCG optional essay. Is it too late to submit that optional essay? No, it's not too late, but if your student completed the Common App essay, then we're going to read that essay, and that qualifies for us as the UNCG essay. So if your student has already completed that essay through Common App, that's totally okay. We are going to read it, and we are going to make sure that it is going to help your student out. Austin, whenever you are meeting with family members and whenever you are meeting with parents at SOAR, are there any common questions? Are there any slip-ups that parents or students make often enough to talk about it?
Yeah, so one of the things that we always get is paying attention to the payment deadline. Payment deadline is one of those things that will come up quickly in July. So make sure you're monitoring that and kind of figuring out which payment plan you want early on, so you can make sure you hit that early deadline. It's typically, I want to say it was like July 8th this year, and our last orientation finishes June 30th. So you always want to be monitoring that as a big thing. And then one of the biggest things that we encounter is advising and registration, so signing up for classes. So that signing up for classes is a student-only process. The student will be the one meeting with the advisor. We really encourage students and families in advance to talk through students. You can start looking at classes prior to coming to SOAR, learning about them, learning about different degree requirements, and parents and families, you all can talk about what options might work for electives and different things like that. So just have those conversations in advance, paying attention to those deadlines. And again, the UNCG email, once we send out, will be your guide right there too.
Absolutely. Now, we did just get another question from a guest online. Do we have a preference or do we recommend using the Common App rather than Spartan Link or CFNC? No, we have no preference, and we do not make any recommendations, because whenever I'm reading an application, it all looks the same on my end. I can have our processors to thank for that, but it all is the same information. So we have no preference. We do not have any kind of tilt one way or another if a student wants to apply for admission on one platform or another. Now let's take a look through some things here on Spartan Central just one last time, just to make sure that we're not missing anything. I don't think we are, but you know, financial aid is incredibly important, and that is something that you always need to be aware of. Let's take a look at some of the types of aid that you can get, and there is a big difference in the types of aid. Now, I want to preface this entire thing by saying I am not a financial aid counselor, neither is Austin, but we do have a financial aid office here on our campus, so make sure that you go talk to them and they will be able to help you out. Now, the most common type of aid, of course, is scholarships. The second most common type of aid is federal student loans. So the FAFSA is what determines your eligibility to receive different types of aids. One thing on the FAFSA that you will find a lot of people having questions about is that thing called the estimated family contribution. So that is what FAFSA says you're responsible for. If you need help with making that estimated family contribution, again, go talk to financial aid, and now is the time to do it. So you have different types of student aid that you can get. Loans are one of those options. Loans, as the name implies, do have to be paid back. There's different types of loans. Some accrue interest while you're a student, some accrue interest while you or only after you graduate. So go talk to our financial aid office, go check out Spartan Central because it has a fantastic breakdown of what the different types of loans are. There are loans specifically for parents. There are loans for graduate students. So if you are a grad student, of course, you can do financial aid that way. There are also grants. Grants do not have to be paid back, and there are scholarships. Scholarships do not have to be paid back. So those are the things that we call gift aid, and those are the things that you are gifted from us or from the government or from some kind of organization who has money available for you. So the gift aid does not have to be paid back. Another thing that we have here is called federal work study. Work study is a job. It is a job that you get paid for, and it is part of your financial aid package. So you do have to be qualified, and you do have to be selected, more or less, to receive federal work study. So that is all, of course, determined by the FAFSA. And then there are the Uncg scholarships. The admissions office administers these scholarships to first-year students. So our key time frame for you to apply for those scholarships is by January the 15th. And I say you have to apply for those scholarships. All you have to do is fill out the application to attend Uncg, and you have to send in your FAFSA. So you're not actually applying for any individual scholarships. You are simply applying to the school and filling out the FAFSA. Now you'll see something right over here called the Spartan Scholarship System. The Spartan Scholarship System is what we have available for our current students. So anyone who is a current student at Uncg, not someone who's just been accepted and will be coming, but someone who is currently enrolled in classes, the Spartan Scholarship System is available to you. That is how you can apply for individual scholarships. So if you have a scholarship opportunity through your major and they require you to fill out an application, you will follow the steps to fill out that application on the Spartan Scholarship System website. So again, just take a look around, get familiar with Spartan Central, because like I said earlier, that is your one-stop shop for getting everything right. You want to make sure that you are taking a look at that and making sure that you are doing it all correctly. Now, of course, there are private loans. These do not require FAFSA, and you do have to send them here to the admissions office, or excuse me, to our financial aid office. So make sure that you are sending in your loans, any checks that you receive, any information about that. Make sure that you send that in here to the financial aid office. Lord, I cannot. Anyway, it's been a long couple of days. Austin, do we have any update for upcoming January? So we have some students coming in who are coming in for the spring, so starting in January.
Yep, so we will host in-person January SOAR on January 7th, 2022. Reservations for that will open up on November 1st, here in a few weeks. And you will make your reservation through the new student portal. It is a student-only program, so students, you'll be the ones coming to campus to attend. Parents and families will have some online resources for you all to view and watch separately. And again, be checking your UNCG email. Once that date opens up and you've confirmed your intent to enroll, you'll get an invite email to go ahead and make your reservations, but you can also see more information on our website.
Absolutely. So if you are coming in for the spring, definitely make sure you're checking your UNCG email. We will be sending out notifications about your application decision here in the next couple of weeks. So check your Spartan Link account, check your Common App account, and your CFNC, because you will get the information there. Let's see, we do have a question here. Is the application fee waived during college application week, which is October 18th to the 22nd? I hate to disappoint you, but no, we are not part of Free College Application Week through CFNC, so we are not waiving application fees during that time. Of course, you can talk to your high school counselor, and your high school counselor can provide you with a fee waiver. If they don't know what kind of fee waiver we accept from your school, just talk to us and we would be able to help you out. Let's see if there are any questions from anywhere else. I don't see any questions from anywhere else, and honestly, Austin, right now it looks like we are kind of okay. Let's talk a little bit about transfer students. I feel like transfer students sometimes get a little bit pushed to the side just because we are sometimes so focused on our first year students. We don't want to forget our transfer students. Transfer students, the application process is exactly the same for you. You just have to send us your college transcripts. Is there any difference in orientation for transfer students, Austin?
It's a little bit different. Transfer students, you'll come to an orientation specifically for transfer students, and for your advising or registration, we do a process called advising or registration by appointment, or ARA for short, where you'll get an invite from your academic advising center to meet with an advisor at a certain time to talk through your intended major, the credits you're coming in with, your previous educational experience, because we know you might be coming just from a community college, or you might be coming from 3 different institutions. So it takes a little bit of time to sort it out, right? So we know that's a little bit different. We want to make sure you're also with other transfer students and start building that network there too. So a little bit different there, but otherwise we still get access to all the resources and everything here to offer at UNCG.
Absolutely. Now, I do want to go back to the admissions website here just to show you what the transfer articulation looks like. So if we come down here to transfers under the Apply tab and look at our transfer course equivalencies, that's going to bring you to this big giant database called the TES, and that stands for Transfer Equivalency Search. I do not expect you to look through every single school, every single class on this database, because there's quite a lot. But for example, if we are coming in from Randolph Community College, we can take a look at the Randolph Community College page here on the TES, and it's going to tell you exactly how many classes we have transferred in from Randolph previously. Now, if you've taken a class from your school and it is not on this website, don't worry, that doesn't mean that it's not going to transfer. It just means that we have not had that class transfer in the past. So let's take a look at, let's see, Bio 111. So at Randolph Community College, Bio 111 is called General Biology. And at UNCG, Bio 111 is still Bio 111, and it is called Principles of Biology. Now, if we click on this little check mark right over here, it will tell you how many credits you're going to get. It's going to tell you what your markers are. And those markers are very important for your degree progress, because you have to have a certain number of general education classes. You have to have a certain number of life science classes, of world literature, things like that. We're getting into the weeds into advising here, but it will tell you what those markers are going to be. It will tell you how many credits you're going to get. It will give you the full breakdown. So definitely check out the Transfer Equivalency Search website, and that is just on the admissions page. So if you go to admissions.uncg.edu and you look right over here at Transfer Course Equivalencies, or if you want to take a look at our transfer admission criteria, it is all right there on the website. Alrighty, Austin, I believe that looks like it's all of our questions for the evening. Well, friends, if you have any questions, of course, now is the time to send them in. But Austin, I want to know, just from your opinion, what is one thing that you would never change about UNCG?
One thing I would never change is the amazing people, both from the faculty, staff, and the student perspective. I think we have someone here to help you in any capacity, shape, or form. So whether that's an admissions question, an orientation question, a financial aid question. We've got great people on campus that can help get those questions answered and those concerns alleviated. So don't hesitate to reach out if you're not sure. We're here to help in any way that we can.
Absolutely. Well, you kind of took my answer, but that's okay. I do have a backup. One thing that I would never change about UNCG is the way campus looks. I never knew that Greensboro could look so beautiful, but it does. And our campus is right here in the center of Greensboro. It is a gorgeous place. We have won awards for the number of trees that we have on campus, which is kind of a funny thing to think about. But I would not change a thing about the way that our campus looks because it is, in my opinion, just perfect. Alrighty, friends, if you have any questions, of course, feel free to leave those in the chat. I will be hanging out for just a little while to answer those questions, and I will be on our texting platform. So make sure to send us your messages, and the texting number is on our website. One last question that we have just come through. If I took a college class during high school, how is that applied to my application? Well, on your application, there is a place for you to put the college, the community colleges or college that you have attended at the same time as you taking high school classes. So if you have attended any dual enrollment or if you have taken college classes, put that on the education history tab in your application, and also send us in your transcripts. So that's how you get credit for those classes. Send us in the transcript, and then we will do the transfer evaluation for you, and we will give you credit for the classes that you've already taken. Well, friends, I do believe that is going to wrap us up for the evening. Of course, if you have any questions, always send us in those questions. Reach out anytime. We are here always, so make sure you send us in your questions and reach out whenever you need us. But thank you so much, Austin, for joining me today. Thank you so much, everyone online in internet land, for joining us today. And we hope to see you at Open House, which is coming up on October the 23rd, which is a Saturday, and November the 6th. So that is another Saturday event coming up. So make sure that you are coming to see us because we want to see you. Thank you all for joining us, and we hope you have a lovely evening. See ya.